We have long passages today uh, from 2nd Samuel, Ephesians, and even John's Gospel. In the middle, we also read Psalm 51. All are well connected. How do you speak to people who committed mistakes? How will you talk to them kindly, gently, and with non threatening manner? How to talk on tough things, difficult things? How not to be a threat when talking about hard stuff? These are all some of the questions that I raise as we begin. We normally avoid such situation when somebody is caught in some action or some sin. How to meet the person, how to talk about the sin to the person. That's the concern. We normally avoid. Why we avoid? Because we don't want to bring strain in our relationship. Our friendship should go on. We don't want to bring any kind of a strain in between us. Another thing is, when we handle such hard stuff, difficult stuff, we may raise our passion. We may be emotional. The other person may also be emotional. And we may not be able to handle the passion that is involved when you deal with hard stuff. So we avoid. So we avoid not to speak to the people who have committed sin. Well, should we avoid? Is that what Bible says? That's the question I'm trying to answer today. The golden rule of the Bible is this. Golden rule. Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Let me read. In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and the prophets. In everything, do to others as others would have them to do you. What does that mean? In this world, we want people to do the things that I want to do, or I want to do the things others should do. That's how we do things in this world. Yeah, what is that? This we know it. This we all know it. This we all do it. Why we call it golden rule? We call it golden rule. It is all because the opposite is what we are following. What is the opposite? The opposite is something like this. What is hateful to yourself, do to no other. What is hateful to you, you don't do it to others. That's how this world runs. That's the new order of this world. I don't harm you, you don't harm me. I come to you because you are not going to kill me. You come to me because you are not going to kill me. You remain where you are. I remain where I am. No harm is taken place. That is the new order, and that's how way the world runs these days. But Jesus says, no, do good to others. Do best help to others. There's a difference between these two. The first, what is the difference? I must do no harm to you. It's the second position. That's how this world runs. But Jesus says, I must do my best to help you. I must do my best to help you. That is what Jesus is asking. What does that mean? That means when I see somebody is not doing well, I cannot sit and relax, but I have to go and help the person. When someone commits sin in the family or in the church or between husband and wife, we cannot sit silently. We have to go and help the person. We cannot avoid. That's number one reason why we cannot avoid when someone commits sin. The second reason is what we read in our first lesson. David sinned against Bathsheba. This particular sin is well known. David sinned after sinned. He did sin after sin. He committed multiple sins. If you look at all the sins that he has committed, we can go on listing down, but I thought I would simply say some of them. Yes, he was lazy. He is a warrior. He should lead the war from the front, but he was sitting at home relaxing. That's considered sin. And it's a violence against women. Of course, Bathsheba is a silent person here, but how much struggle she had gone through because of David, violence against women. And again, he stole somebody else's wife. That is a great sin. And fourthly, he has murdered Uriah. And finally, as of my list, is that he tried to cover the sin, multiple sins. Now, when Nathan confronted him very beautifully. He spoke the truth in love. He could have immediately went and blamed him, but he did not do that. He cooked up a story, and in that story, he gave importance to the action. The action is stealing someone's lamb and giving food to the visitor who came to your house. So he focused on the action. He did not focus on his laziness or his character. Very beautifully Nathan handled. But why it is an important story for our context today? It is all because the sin that he committed has got consequences. That's what Nathan exactly said. Look, the sin that you committed is going to have its impact all through your life on this earth. The sword will remain in your house, which remained in his house. So Nathan has got no option except to confront him, except to tell him that, look, your sin has got consequences. Better you repent. Better you come out of your sin. Better you ask God forgiveness. That's how he is handling. Any sin that we commit will have its consequences. Please do not take sin lightly. For example, if I have illicit relationship with a woman, that will have an impact on my children. That will have an impact on the church where I serve. It may have an impact on the ministry that is going on in this compound. Sin doesn't stop with me. Sin has got its consequences. When the prodigal son moved out of this house, he thought that all his problems are solved. But when he went to a far away country, there he lost all his possessions. Not only that, he brought famine, brought to that place. Sin not only stops with me, it goes beyond me, and it has got impact. It has got consequences. So, as Nathan did, we all have to confront sin. We all have to face. We cannot avoid. So Paul comes up with a beautiful suggestion, or no, not suggestion, a command. Speak the truth in love. You speak the truth in love. Your intention is not to bring the person down, but your intention is to build the person up. Your intention is not to make the person guilty, but your intention is to make the person happy. Your intention is not to destroy, but your intention is to restore. Your intention is not to vindicate. Your intention is to vindicate the truth, support the truth. Very beautifully, Nathan handled. As you know that I'm involved in the ministry of marriage, wedding ministry. Every couple who sit with me for pre-marriage class, I tell them this. Remember these words. Speak the truth in love. You want your husband to be happy or guilty? You want to make him guilty or happy? Or you want your wife to be guilty or happy? You have the truth. Correct. Your wife is not correct. She is wrong. But how are you going to handle? You have truth, but handle the truth in love. While we handle this truth, we also need to remember that we have to keep the truth without corruption. We have to keep the truth, stay pure. That's the problem also we face. When we handle truth, we twist the truth, we bend the truth, and we try to make the truth work in favor of us. Speak the truth in love. Keep the truth pure. What do I mean by that? You see, I worked for a missionary organization. I think this happens all across the world. When somebody is caught doing some mistake, what our organization people did, okay, there will be a counseling team. The counseling team will come and sit with the person and point to the mistake of the person. When he agreed or she said, accepted, then immediately they say that, okay, put everything in writing. Whatever you have committed, put it in writing. And you say that I apologized. You put it in writing. And they immediately put it in the file. So when it comes to next mistake, that will be taken against the person. When it comes to giving him some leadership position, that will be taken against the person. You use the truth for your favor. Keep the truth pure. God is more than willing to forgive us. As far as the east is from the west, so far he has removed our transgressions from us. Even in this case of David, God forgave them. And he considered him, he called him as a man of his own heart. When God is willing to embrace you, why you want to make the truth in your favor? Now, in our gospel lesson, the people came back. Yesterday, he fed them, 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus crossed the lake. People came on this side to see him, but they knew that Jesus already crossed. They went walking to meet with Jesus. Why did they go to Jesus? It is all because they wanted again Jesus to feed them. Jesus said, you have come to eat again? Jesus said, look, food is given to you, no problem. They said that, no, Moses gave us manna. Jesus immediately said, Moses did not give you manna. This is my Father, this is your Father who gave you food. Food can be given all the time. But what Jesus is saying here is that you need the truth. You need the true bread, which is Jesus himself. Come and embrace him. Come and accept him. When we talk about speak the truth in love, this statement has a very important message. Truth in Greek is not a noun, it is a verb. But in English, truth is noun. So if you have to translate it, you have to translate such a way that truthing in love, we all have the truth in love, truthing in love. Jesus is the truth. He is the one who has given us, who is given by God to be the truth. In him, all sins are forgiven. In him, our consequences of sins can be cancelled. Take him, eat him, drink him, and live with him. That's how Jesus wants us to learn about him. I want to finish with this. An English actor, Macready, was drawing big crowd to his program every night. Very big crowd. So a preacher of his time came to him and said, you also run programs, I also run program, but I preach the truth. but I don't get people coming and sitting and listening to me, but you get a lot of people. Why? The actor very beautifully said, probably the difference between you and me is this: I preach my fiction as though it were truth, but you preach your truth as though it were fiction. We have the truth in our hands. How are we presenting? Are we presenting it in love? May the dear Lord help us all. Amen.